So Manny Pacquiao just claimed his 60th victory against Lucas Matthysse to claim the WBA welterweight title. Pacquiao was coming off of a unanimous decision loss to Jeff Horn, which a lot of people thought was a really dirty fight from Jeff Horn. He was throwing a lot of elbows in there and hitting off the clinch. But then again, before this fight even occurred, a lot of people just thought that this wasn't even going to be a fight. A lot of people just thought Pacquiao was going to knock Jeff Horn out of the water.
Pacquiao was going to stop Jeffrey Horn in the first 6 rounds. I think Pacquiao's going to have too much speed, too much experience.
And that just wasn't the case in this fight. A lot of people thought Pacquiao was robbed in that fight.
I thought you lost, but great effort. I thought this guy was landing the punches. You were throwing a lot that were missing.
But I could definitely see 7 rounds in there that you could have gave to Jeff Horn. So I didn't think it was a robbery besides the dirty tactics that Jeff Horn was using throughout the fight. Matthysse, on the other hand, was coming off of 2 knockout victories. And I really didn't know what to expect coming into this fight. On one hand, you had Pacquiao, who didn't really look too good in his previous fight. And then on the other hand, you had Lucas Matthysse, who was also sort of on the decline of his career, but he's known for being a knockout artist. Lucas Matthysse has 39 victories, and 36 of those victories came by way of knockout. So you pretty much knew if Matthysse was going to win, he was going to win by a knockout. But as Timothy Bradley said,
Pac's B game and C game is still better than a lot of guys' A game.
Yeah. And that really showed in this fight against Lucas Matthysse. Another change in Pacquiao's camp is he recently fired his trainer Freddie Roach, which he's been with for many years now, and he decided to replace his head trainer with Buboy Fernandez, which is actually his first trainer even before Freddie Roach was in the picture. And Freddie Roach was very emotional about this. He said he didn't even hear the news from Pacquiao. He just heard about it on the news just like everybody else.
How did you hear about the news?
Same way everyone else did.
Really?
By the newspaper.
Someone told me that, but I didn't believe it. That's why I asked you.
No calls.
And he never received a phone call from Pacquiao or anything like that. He was also very emotional because he said he didn't know what the issue was or why Pacquiao fired him. But he said if it was money that was the issue, he would have trained Pacquiao for free because he really sees Pacquiao as more of a friend.
I mean, I wish I got a call from him, and yeah, I mean, because I would go for free if he needed the money.
Now, some people are speculating the reason why Pacquiao did better in this fight is because he can actually understand his trainer now. As many of you know, English isn't Manny Pacquiao's first language, and usually when Freddie Roach is in the corner, he has Buboy Fernandez there to translate for him. So some people are saying that that is why he did better in this fight, because he finally understands what his trainer is saying now. But yeah, going back to Lucas Matthysse versus Manny Pacquiao, this wasn't anything like the Jeff Horn fight. You could really see from the very first round that Pacquiao was just significantly better than Lucas Matthysse was in terms of skill. Pacquiao dominated this thing from start to finish. He won every single round and even scored a total of 3 knockdowns. On the other hand, a lot of people will say that if you look at Lucas Matthysse, it looked like he was a shell of his former self. He really didn't have any head movement, and it was really just easy for Pacquiao to tee off on him. He scored his first knockdown in the 3rd round, which was an uppercut. It was a punch that Matthysse didn't really see coming, and like so many previous Pacquiao opponents before, caused him to hit the canvas. The second knockdown came in the 5th round. I didn't really see anything significant land. I'm not really sure why Matthysse decided to take a knee. I think he just wanted to take a breather at that point in time because he didn't really know how he was going to land any punches on Pacquiao, because whatever his game plan was, it wasn't working at that point. And the 3rd and final knockdown came in the 7th round. It was again a left uppercut, but I believe he could have got up from it if he wanted to, but you could just tell from his body language that he did not want to continue, and Kenny Bayless noticed that as well and decided to stop the fight, giving Pacquiao the TKO victory in the 7th round. So this marks Pacquiao's first knockout victory in almost 9 years. He hasn't knocked anybody out since, I believe, Miguel Cotto in 2009. So what have we really learned from this fight? What we really learned is Pacquiao seems to fare better against smaller opponents. I guess we've kind of known this just watching Pacquiao's career. You could see at the welterweight division that he has not knocked anybody out. He did knock out Miguel Cotto in that one fight, which was a 12th round knockout. But if you really watch that fight, you can kind of see that if the referee decided to let it continue, that Miguel Cotto probably would have survived till the bell. All of Pacquiao's knockouts have been in the lower weight classes from 140 and below. below. If you remember his fight with Ricky Hatton, that was his only fight in the 140-pound weight division, and he won it by a second round knockout. And then if you look at his only fight at the 135 division, which was against David Diaz, that also resulted in a knockout. So that's really where Pacquiao's power is. I don't know why he really decided to go to 147 and stay there. I really always thought his optimal weight was at 140 pounds. I think he went to welterweight just because that's where all the big money fights were. But really, Pacquiao looks more impressive in the lower weight classes. I definitely think the best fight for him next would be against Lomachenko at 140 or somewhere around there. That would be a fight that I think everybody would want to see. And it would really be like a passing of the torch to Lomachenko if Lomachenko were to beat Pacquiao. Similar to when Pacquiao beat Oscar De La Hoya. If you remember that fight, Manny Pacquiao had to go up 2 weight classes to fight Oscar De La Hoya, and Oscar De La Hoya had to go down 1 weight class to meet Pacquiao at 147 pounds. This would be really similar to that. Lomachenko, who's fighting at 135 pounds now, will go up to 140, and Pacquiao would drop down to 140 from 147, and they would meet at that 140-pound weight division. Now, Lomachenko was really adamant of the fight only taking place at 135 if it were to happen.
It depends on weight class. I can't now move at 140. Yeah. I can't.
And I think the reason why is because in a recent Freddie Roach interview, Freddie Roach claimed that Pacquiao and Lomachenko have actually sparred in the past.
Unbelievable.
Lomachenko?
Him and Pacquiao.
How was that?
That was unbelievable.
Really?
Unbelievable. Both guys back and forth.
And when they did spar, Freddie Roach just said it was fireworks. He said it was like one of the best sparring matches he's ever seen. He said it was just 2 really gifted boxers going at each other.
Best work I ever saw in the gym ever.
Really?
Really good. What? Back and forth, back and forth. Yeah, I mean, not one-sided at all. He's a solid fighter.
He did say 2 years after that initial sparring match that Pacquiao did knock down Lomachenko twice.
2 years later, Pacquiao knocks him down twice.
But if what Freddie Roach is saying is true, then that is probably why Lomachenko doesn't want to fight Pacquiao at 140 pounds, because he could see that Pacquiao can knock him down. And if he were to fight at the higher weight class, it would be too much of an advantage for Manny Pacquiao. But I do think if they do decide to fight, I think they should meet at a catch weight at around 137 to 138 pounds. I think that would be a really great fight to make, and that's pretty much what I want to see.
Looks like Manny Pacquiao.
Anyways, I'm going to end this video here. If you liked it, of course, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And let me know in the comments section what you guys want me to cover next.